Hey there, Manifestors! Thanks for joining me for your weekly intuitive reading. If you are new to the channel, I do my readings based on your human design type, which is one of 5 types. And if you do not know what yours is, you can check in the information box below, click the link to find your type, and if you're a manifestor, this reading is for you. All right, so let's get started. I've picked 6 cards in 3 groups, or 3 groups of 2 cards, rather. So the first one represents your current situation, the second, where we are moving away from, and the third, what you're moving towards. All right, so the first card I pulled here is Be Playful. And one thing I really zeroed in here, it kind of looks like this bird is wearing a paper hat that he folded at home and just was like, this is fun, this is silly. It kind of looks like he's wearing a boa, or she. They're wearing a boa. Maybe playing dress up and splashing around in the puddles, just having a good time, being silly. So I think this is a great time for you to really be fun, creative, silly, let your imagination come to life. It makes me think of bringing out your inner child, and especially it's great if you have children, because I think it's easier to access that inner child. If you think about, maybe it's raining outside, a time when you were little and it was raining outside, and you made this pillow fort inside the house and maybe had an indoor picnic or played dress up or something like that. Sort of tapping into that energy is really good for you right now. And the second card that came out with this, I think you can see sort of when we have our hands out like that in meditation, it often is like us receiving from the universe. I know when I do that, I often get like tingling in my palms when I'm in meditation, and it feels like you're receiving something. These cups are being filled up. And so pay attention to the messages that you're receiving from spirit, but I think also, as being really sensitive souls, we're able to tap into what other people are feeling, what they need, and things like that. So I think this is sort of asking you to take a moment this week and see if there's a way that you can give to someone else in your life. Maybe it's, this reminds me of a commercial that I've been seeing on TV with Billie Eilish, where she talks about starting the awkward conversation, just sending someone a text and saying, are you all right? Are you sure you're all right? It kind of makes me think of that. So it doesn't have to be some big gesture where you donate a bunch of money or something like that. It can be a small gesture of just caring. Maybe you have an elderly neighbor who can't pick up their groceries and you do it for them, or, they just need a call and talk to someone because they're feeling really alone and isolated. So see if there's something in your experience, in your world, that you can do to contribute and help someone out. As I think often when we get in the flow of giving, it also opens us up to receiving. All right, the next section that we're talking about is what you're moving away from this week. So I picked Giraffe Spirit. see the big picture. So what I think we're moving away from here, what this is talking about, is moving away from focusing on all the small things, all the distractions, and really starting to take in the bigger picture. Like, think about when you are in the situation of your normal conveniences and things are being taken away, and you're sort of stripped bare here. What are you noticing that really matters? Do you find yourself thinking about your world and how you want to move forward differently? So really think about the big picture. Maybe the things you thought were important aren't actually that important. And that's okay. It's okay, for things to shift and move and morph, and just good to be in the flow of all of that. The second card that comes out with Giraffe is the Guardian. This is basically the Death card. So what I think we're moving away from here in this message is ego-driven life, where, our ego does serve a purpose. Our ego is not the enemy, but when we let the ego take the driver's seat, it can be a problem. Our ego is here to protect us, and it does help guide us and balance things out. But I think this is a good time for us to really let the ego stop taking control. Who are we when we're stripped of our titles, our ability to earn or move in the world, socialize? When we're stripped of our conveniences, who are we? It's like really getting down to the root of our like pure natural essence, and letting all of that other frivolous stuff kind of go. So I think it's really going to help you make big shifts this week if you can really take a look and examine that and embrace what's coming out for you. All right, the third group of cards, this message is about what you're moving towards. So I pulled this in the reverse. This is Owl Spirit. You can see clearly now. I think this talks about us getting used to operating in the dark, about you don't have the torch, you don't have the flashlight, you don't have all the clues, you're not driving, like someone else is in control, big universe, source. You're not in control, and the best thing you can do right now with this sort of little baby death is surrendering to this moment, this situation, and like you just don't know what's coming next. You don't know how to plan for what's next. You can only be in the moment and do your best and really get in the flow, which ties into the card that it is paired with, the Five of Vessels, Ecstasy. Like, for me, these two are very much connected. This, like, being playful and, like, getting playful to the point where you lose yourself in it, in a good way. Like, you just get so in the flow that you're tapping into something deeper something higher, something divinely co-created. You're stepping into the magic. This is you accessing the fertile void. That's you getting lost in the present. And it's just such a amazing place to create from without having to map out all of the directions, the details, the needs, the wants. It's just like being in it right then. And I think that's one of the most powerful ways to create. So I think that's the biggest message for this week is really, if you can, just let go. Let these old things fall away. Let this need to know, this need to control fall away. Get really playful. Tap into that inner child. Build your pillow fort. And see if there's someone else that you can inspire to do the same. All right, thanks for joining me, Manifestors. I hope you have a great week, and I will see you next Monday. Take care, bye.